Hey guys, it's Void Concept here. Welcome to my Barbarian Assault minigame guide. There are no actual requirements to play Barbarian Assault. However, I do recommend that you at least have a higher combat level, since you will be facing or tanking out monsters. And if you are a low combat level, you will annoy your teammates by constantly dying. Barbarian Assault is located at the Barbarian Outpost, which is most easily gotten to through the Games Necklace teleport. Games Necklaces are cheap, so you can just teleport in right here. There are other methods to get here, but that is by far the easiest. When you first come in, you will need to talk to Captain Kane over here and go through his tutorials. I recommend paying attention to these tutorials, although I will be going into much greater detail, and you won't have to read it, than he does. I must first note that there are no capes inside of the arena, so that's why nobody here is wearing capes except for that guy. When you come down here, this is where the action actually happens. You will notice these rooms, each with a number on it. This number represents what wave you are on. Up here, all the way to the north, is wave 1. The most common method to do with this is to go through wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop at 6. Or is it go to 6 and stop at 7? I'm not exactly sure on that one. Or what you could do is try to go all the way through to the Queen, and those are called Queen teams, QT, and I'm not sure the other one, HT. I'm not sure exactly what that stands for, because it's been a while since I've been here, but nonetheless they have different team names, so be on the lookout for those. There are 4 different roles that you can play: Attacker, Collector, Healer, and Defender. Attacker and Collector being the easiest ones, and Healer and Defender being the hardest ones. Defender is almost impossible for a noob, so don't even try it. I'd go with Collector or Attacker, so you can learn the basics before moving on to the more difficult roles. So, one of the first things you want to do for any class is to call, and that is, so up here in the corner here next to your minimap and experience counter thingy, you've got this display here. It tells you up top what wave. The next line after that is what you hear, that's what they call to you. So green eggs, I collect green eggs. And then the third thing is what you say, style 3. How you call with this is you right click on the horn and then you tell style 3 or tell whatever it is. And then it tells you who you're calling for, attacker. It will always be paired up with collector and attacker, and then defender and healer. Whenever you see this thing as white, call whatever it says. And if you call the wrong thing, make sure you call the correct thing, because they will hear whatever you call, not if it's right or not. If it was just to click the horn, then there would be no reason to get the calls. And that's the mistake most people make, is they just go, oh, tell style 1, or oh, tell tofu, or whatever. So the role of the collector is a very easy one. Basically your job is to call for the attacker, and to collect eggs to kill the rest of the runners for the defender. That is, if the defender needs the runners to be killed. And actually possibly even the healers as well, killing the healers. You will never really have to fire eggs at the fighters or the rangers, because they're easier to kill, but for the healer, if on at least on the later ranges, the healer is usually busy with healing everybody, so they don't have time really to kill the healers. And the defense is just the hardest, so it usually takes the longest. And there's some ping lag in this clip, just ignore that. It's really a really easy task role, and there was a noob in this team that just sat in the corner doing emotes, which I'll show at the very end. Attacker is also one of the easy roles where basically all you have to do is go and kill whatever monster. And what you hear, what is called to you, is the attack style that you use. So in this part right here, it's defensive. Make sure you use defensive, otherwise you will be hitting zeros, getting a point penalty, and you will be hurting yourself for 20 damage every single hit. On the transitions, it's kind of hard to not get a penalty, and I was a noob right there and punched anyways. Controlled type I cannot do with just Goliath gloves, so I just sat here doing nothing for this rotation, I guess you may call it. And basically, I could have gone and gotten runes for the wind spells, which is what's offered at the thing right here, which I'm about to show, but it switches as I'm going for it. So back to aggressive style, and I switch to aggressive, and all of the fighters and rangers have been killed. So basically my job is done. Usually there's 2 attackers on a team, and as you can see there are 2 attackers on this team here, me and this other guy, and basically there's 2 attackers until the last wave, which is the queen wave. Okay, so the healer role is another fairly easy role up until the very last wave, or the later waves. Wave 1 is what I'm showing right here. So basically we want to take from the dispenser, then take from the spring. I accidentally drink from the spring here, but it doesn't matter, it's wave 1. The healing water that you get in the vial can heal your teammates when you use it on them. Anywhere between 100 and 350 life points, depending on your healer level. You can see how much life points your teammates have by the bar right above the chat box. Use the correct type of food on the healers to kill them. It will poison them, and basically all you need is a half-health healer, and then the rest will be done by the rest of the poison. Now the defender I'm going to take a little bit more time on because it needs it. First thing you want to do whenever you start off the game, get to the dispenser as quick as possible. Then run over to the healing pond and drop the wrong type of bait. I took a second there to call when I should have done that before. I accidentally dropped another bait there, but drop correct type of bait on the next to the trap, and then leading up to there. If you do it quick enough, you can actually get it within the first cycle, and it will help you out a great amount. So, as you can see, there's already got hit 1. Each runner trap will be able to kill 2 by the time it needs repair. And right here, I'm just adding lines out so that it gets closer, or they get lured closer to the trap. The reason for the wrong type of bait before was every time that a runner eats one of those types of bait, they run back up 5 spaces. And in that amount of time, you can set out more traps and lure them. You see, and they'll go blar. And fix the trap. I run out of logs here, which is not something you should do. Make sure you always have enough logs in your inventory, and always make sure you're calling. This was my best round by far of the ones that I recorded, so this is the one I'm using. It's wave 6. It took me 6 waves to get back into the swing of things, and that's after getting good. So there was a runner over here. I was going to try to lure him back up here, but as you'll see in a minute here, it doesn't really work out as planned and actually goes to the other trap instead. It eats one of these food over here, goes blarg, and then, or does it just, yeah, it skips everything and goes straight for the trap. And that was my last runner I had to kill. And at this point, the round is only half over. If you get good at this, you will beat out the rest of your team by far. And that is what I did. Now, I didn't beat out the rest of my team completely. The healer and, well, of course, collector were already done. They had 2 healers at this point and 1 attacker. But even if it was switched, I believe I still would have beaten out the healer for killing them. So I wanted to point this part out as well. Right here, I'm going to get more supplies when it changes. So what I do is I actually say meet. They can see you from wherever, and then after I'm done actually collecting, I call for a reel. You want to do this so that you aren't missing any beats as defender, but you are still telling the healer what to use. So now that you have the basic premise of what to do as each role, I'm going to show you how to do the queen a little bit. So it starts off like any other wave where your job is to kill whatever, and then as healer I'm supposed to heal everything. But you'll notice the area is a little bit different. The giant pallet in the middle is where the queen will come up, as well as there's no launcher on the right. The no launcher on the right makes the job of the defender so easy, at least putting it into the second easiest, at least on this wave. Basically all they have to do is put the correct type of bait on the trap, stand on it, wait for all of them to mob up, and then move away, killing them all at once, and you just move on. So right here I'm finished with killing everything. They're still working on the fighters, or I should say he is. And there's the queen. At first that queen didn't see us all, but it was derping out, I guess. So at this point you will see these yellow eggs start popping up. These yellow eggs are what's used in creating omega eggs. You need 8 of them. So the order to get them is Chad: collector, healer, attacker, defender. And all the while the defender has to be working on keeping everybody healed up, which is usually what I like to do. So the collector collects the eggs, healer dunks them in poison, attacker attaches spikes to them from the mushrooms, as you can see around, and then the defender dips them in lava to make them the omega eggs, and then pass back to the collector to put inside of the hopper. However, you cannot kill the queen until all of her subjects are already dead. And we had a couple of runners left. So omega eggs are ready, but can't do it because the defender didn't finish his job, which I have no idea how he managed that, because it is literally the easiest job. And there's actually 3 of them stuck in that one spot. At first we didn't know how to get them out, but eventually he was able to lure them out and kill them. Hopefully you'll be able to see this in a second here. Again, busy doing my job, healing everybody. It helps to be high life points and defense and all that, and high healer level if you want to heal on the last wave, although you don't have to be. So again, those runners are stuck, so trying to get them out. We thought it was a glitch. I thought we were going to have to reset, but we didn't. And they were able to kill them finally. It took a little while. Usually the queen would have been dead by now, but Defender didn't do his full job. So there's only one left there. I know I'm gonna keep saying that until they're dead. I don't remember if this runner actually goes all the way through and has to go up to the top again. I don't even know if I was paying attention all that well. And there we go. It was killed. You get that last little screen there, which I will pause on. And let me see if I can find it. There we go. So the last screen there, I should have switched it over to what's it called? The points, because this is for the Penance Horn experience potential. The experience you get it's basically like a double experience item, but it runs out of charges, and that may be the reason why you want to come to Barbarian Assault, or at least back to Barbarian Assault after you've already gotten all the items you want. And then the points for completing the last wave, you get 80 points in whatever role you are in, plus 5 points in every other role. So the queen is a good way to do that. For regular waves, you get less points, and it depends on your performance. And I guess that means I will move on to rewards now. For every wave, you have a choice: either experience potential on the Penance Horn, or honor points in whatever role you are playing as. Either way, I see it as beneficial. Points are more for if you're going for any of the penance items, such as the torso or the fighter hat or penance gloves, I think they're called. Any of those, or even leveling up whatever role you're doing. And then the other one is experience potential, which basically means you'll be going for agility experience, because of those 3 skills you get, agility is probably what you would use it on. Although mining may be okay as well. Fire making, don't bother. So after getting these honor points, you may ask what you can actually spend them on. Well, up here, you can go to the Barbarian Assault rewards and see what you can get. So up here, the first tab right here, the roles, is leveling up whatever role. So I can't unlock any of these. I've mastered the healer, and I need to do the defender, collector, and attacker still. And I'm only 25 off the defender. Each one helps in some way. The healer levels will determine how much you heal. Attacker, it says plus 30 bonus damage. Collector, egg conversion success is 90%, which nobody actually does, except to get rid of eggs. So yeah, not really worth it in my opinion. And defender, lure range 8, which I really kind of need to get. Penance armor. So penance armor will usually require some amount of points in every single roll, and to kill the queen. And as you can see, the kill the queen has been lit up, so I've killed the queen. I can buy one, but I do not have 275 points in each roll, or 375 when you're going for the torso or skirt, and 100 for boots, 150 for gloves. And these at least used to be the best helms in the game, or not the best, at least halfway decent, but in the beta they are utter junk, so I'm not sure if it's worth buying them. Weapons. The Penance Trident is 390 in each roll. A two-handed weapon. I'm not exactly sure what this does. And then you've got a upgrade to upgrade the melee stats. For some reason, it's basically free when you get the Penance Trident. And then you've got weapon recolors, which I've bought white and green. There's also yellow and blue. So I can spend 50 points in any roll to get these. And I will choose healer. Just because. And again, healer. Because I won't really need healer points. And then in miscellaneous, you've got this Penance Horn, which is absolutely free. And then the Master Penance Horn, or Penance Horn upgrade, which is level 5 in any roll, which I have. And then a Penance Horn, which is free. So you can also gamble for low, medium, and high level rewards. High level rewards have a chance at the Dragon Full Helm, but it is super, super rare. And then, of course, Granite Body, which is probably what most people buy after killing the Queen, because it just requires coins and killing the Queen, and you can usually make some money on it. So I'm going to buy one. And pin. And there's one. And let's see if I actually made any, not withdraw, any profit on it at all. And it looks like I will. That's my second Granite Body I bought today. So, yeah. So anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed the guide, if you found it helpful in any way, please tell me. And thanks for watching.